Hello, everyone. I'm here with Mackenzie Angel,
Yo, what's up?
street name Mack. Real homies call him Mack Attack. Fake ass homies call him Mackenzie. He was into cooking. Now he's into music. He just dropped an EP, fusing his passions. He also runs an event called Base Waffles. They mix food and booze. I went to preschool with this dude.
Old school homies.
We were on an AYSO soccer team together.
That team too that we were on together, we tore shit up. The Flaming Zebras.
The
bro.
Flaming Zebras.
We made little kids cry.
We made ourselves cry. We were
made
little
ourselves
kids.
cry, but other little kids, there was definitely tears from the feet, from the grass stains.
Anyway, went to preschool with him, played soccer with him a while back. Oh, holy hell, this is trippy. How we doing, Mac?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm stoked to be here, dude. This is epic.
So, we are currently in Eagle Rock, California. This is a very hip area in Los Angeles. The lights are currently completely off. We got two Focusrite boxes connected to his computer and mine. He's mixing as we're going to be speaking, so we're going to kind of take a different approach to this.
We're gonna get saucy.
We're going to get saucy.
Lost in the sauce.
We're going to get lost in the sauce, and if you are prone to have seizures or bright lights can throw you into shock, I recommend you turn off the episode now. But let's get into it. Let's get into it. Mac, you just dropped an EP. Tell me about that.
Well, the EP I dropped is called Imagine. I dropped it on a label I started with my homie called Fuzzy Puddles.
Fuzzy Puddles.
Yeah, and it's a 3-track EP with my friend, also from way back from elementary school,
Yep.
Brendan Schermeyer, aka Fluctuating Frequencies.
There we go.
We've actually, me, Brendan, and Ruben are like the three kind of OG people, I guess, that started Fuzzy Puddles.
Well, you guys really kicked off the Eagle Rock music scene, from what I understand.
I wouldn't say kicked off because, you know, back when like Low End Theory Music Festival was happening, not Low End Theory Music Festival, but when Low End Theory stage was happening at the Eagle Rock Music Festival, like in the early 2000s.
Okay, so I was trolling. There's actually an Eagle Rock. There's an Eagle Rock music festival.
Well, there was. It doesn't happen anymore, but that's kind of what I guess inspired us, and was like our first little like the exposure to like a local Eagle Rock sick ass party.
Right.
And, like, we just took over the street, projected on the coffee table, like Flying Lotus played and a bunch of other sick artists.
Projected on a coffee table?
Yeah, there's a coffee table restaurant and
Got
another restaurant across the street. The stage was in between the two buildings, and they're projecting onto either side. And it got so cracking that it got shut down. And then, like, next year, there was all these regulations, and they
Damn, Obamacare came in and ruined it. Damn.
Exactly.
We already got into politics.
Yeah.
So, well, first of all, is there some synth going on? I'm hearing myself. I'm synthesized in my own brain right now. I think we got some. Maybe we don't.
That's just the delay.
That's just the.
If I want to put the effects in your voice, then that channel.
There we go. Okay, yeah. Then now it's disabled. Now it's perfect. Sweet. So, again, Max the artist. He'll be. Feel free to add synth whenever you want, whenever you feel is right. Okay, so you. What year was that when that was going on in Eagle Rock?
I don't remember the exact year, but it was like early 2000s. I want to say like 2006, 7.
Okay, so you were in
8.
you were in 8th grade, early high school?
Yeah, it was. I would say, yeah, like 2008, 2009, because I was just like a freshman, sophomore in high school.
Right on. So you've been into music for a while.
Yeah, definitely. Well, my dad has been playing me like the weirdest world music since I was a little kid.
Right.
So even if I didn't want to be around it, I had no choice.
Right.
Yeah.
His dad, Jamie Angel, is a total legend, very artistic guy. Actually, was our coach and coach at Flaming Zebras, which was a very trying time. First of all, I got some beef to pick with you, Flaming Zebras. We put you in as keeper or something, or were you the full-time keeper?
Me?
Yeah.
I would play, I think, like half the game, and then sometimes play defender, and then if we were winning, 'cause I still am out of shape, but I was always too out of shape to play forward if we were actually in need of a forward that could run.
Right.
But my dad was like, well, if we're winning 3-0, like the most, like hard lead to recover from, it's like, oh, then you can play forward.
Well, that's actually where you got the street name Mack Attack.
Mack Attack.
Mack Attack. When we put you in the power forward formation, that was you knew when Mack went it forward that the game was over, and it was legendary.
The game was already over. Then it's just about double overkill.
It was about overkill.
Obliterated.
Okay, so you were into world. Your dad exposed you to world music, and when did you start really thinking, okay, this is something I'm extremely interested in, and this is something that I wanna riff on?
Well, when I was younger, I always wanted to be a cook, and
Yes.
I loved cooking. And that was going to be I was an aspiring chef. That was going to be my career. I've been cooking for the past almost 10 years. Now it's going to be coming up on 9.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm about to get a medal.
Right.
And I was, super into it, still into it. But I went to a performing arts high school or charter school. And everyone had to play a classical instrument, or when I first went, take theater, but then it got switched to dance. So it was either the classical instrument or dance.
Right.
And you could only play classical music, and it was only viola, violin, cello, or bass to choose from.
And you chose bass, obviously.
Well, I chose violin at first 'cause I had to walk to school, and I was like, I want the lightest instrument to carry.
Damn, that's a hilarious reason to choose that.
And then, it turns out I met some of my best friends 'cause they were also taking violin, but that's why I chose it. I was like, fuck, I'm going to walk to school.
Right.
I'm just going to carry this light-ass violin. I don't want to carry a heavy-ass, cello or a bass. And then, we never really got to play anything besides classical music, and I just wasn't 100% into it or feeling it. So I didn't really practice it that much and never really tried. Well, I tried enough to pass, but I didn't, excel in the orchestra or whatever.
Right.
Everyone had to play in mandatory orchestra.
Right.
So then after a while, they asked me pretty much
to leave the school.
Yeah, leave the school. They're like, no, you suck at violin. You want to try viola?
Right.
'Cause viola parts and songs are way,
Well, they were going to give you the triangle too.
Right. If they had triangle, I would have been down, but
that would have been the lightest of all.
Right. Spoons or triangle, you get to pick.
Right.
So I was like, well, if I'm going to play viola, what about bass? That's even more simple and more badass 'cause it's a bass. And they're like, yeah, sure. So I played bass for 2 years.
Hold on. You said
I didn't
to the principal, this is more simple and more badass.
I said this is way more badass.
Way
you
more.
just put more stank on everything.
You can put more stank on it. And the principal said, absolutely. You're totally right here. We'll get you.
Mackenzie.
Get him a bass. Miss Mullins, get over here. Get this man a bass right now.
What this curriculum could really use is some more stank, Mackenzie. So please, we'd love to have you in the bass section right away.
Right.
So
totally.
After, I still wasn't really into it. Didn't practice enough.
Okay, so after that,
after that, I went to Occidental College.
Woo! Occidental College. First of all, that's where we went to preschool.
That's where we went to preschool together.
We went to.
I used to think Occi was like, oh, this place sucks. This is where my dad teaches. This is where I went to preschool.
Right.
And it turns out it's it's a pretty decent place. Right. My dad still taught there, so
So you got the hookups.
Yeah, if I was able to get into the school, I could go on free tuition, which was amazing. That's what I ended up doing. And then I ended up dropping out at the last semester of senior year.
What?
I just couldn't take it.
I didn't even know that you dropped out the last semester senior year.
Yeah.
And did you ever finish?
I haven't finished as of now. It's on the back burner, but it's not a huge priority at the moment.
Right.
But I started off doing CTSJ.
What's that? No one knows what that means.
Critical theory and social justice. It was
Jeez.
a mouthful and a nightmare for me personally. Great subject matter, but the forum and the people that were participating in it, especially at Occi, some of them were just it's too much. It's too much.
Too much trying to save the world kind of stuff, or
yeah, and just arguing things for the sake of arguing them, and making everyone walk through a laser grid, just when you're saying shit.
Right. So as soon as you say anything that's remotely not politically
not
correct,
PC,
or
it's bro, I'm not PC, I'm Mac, bro.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Totally. So That so why didn't you study music?
Well, I at first my first advisor said that you have to pick your major by the end of your sophomore year.
Right.
But apparently for music you have to kind of decide that by the end of your freshman year. So when I decided to pick, I was like, oh well, it's like too late to do music now.
Right.
So I'll do CTSJ. And then after a year of doing that, I was like, this shit fucking sucks.
Right.
The essays were dope 'cause like all the projects and assignments you could just write essays on whatever you want, and if you argue the points well enough, you could, it's like that's what it was just like a circle jerk of people like jerking themselves off of their own like thoughts and like,
Right.
oh, I read these quotes and I combined them like this, and
Right.
it
was very academic.
no, it was not like a loving environment or like promoting like forward thinking. It was promoting. It was like but reprimanding you in a backwards way, not in like a educative like supportive
Right.
upbringing way. It was like an oppressive way, which is exactly what you're like learning about is oppression, and those like being in that environment was like kind of
It is hilarious. You're learning about the oppression of ideas, and then all of it, you're just experiencing that in the classroom with your fellow student.
yeah, or just like no one's voice was like actually being listened to, as everyone was just like kind of like speaking to hear themselves talk kind of, and I just couldn't take it.
Right. Okay. So you couldn't take it. So then what'd you do? You
Then
declare bankruptcy on that.
Yeah, declare bankruptcy. Then I was like, fuck, well, I want to switch to music.
Right.
And then I was like, I really want to switch to music. And they're like, well, actually, you could do some things. And I was like, well, I asked the first time, why didn't you make it obvious that I could have done some things? Was that easy as just like being like, I really want to do music instead of just I want to do music. So I ended up switching. I had to like do some like recovery and take like classes at Santa Monica and like outside of Occi to like catch up, and just like the music department there, I liked it, but it was like the same thing as my high school. I couldn't really get into it 'cause it was all very classical driven, and I was not very adept at an instrument and hadn't been playing one since I was 5. I've been kind of like wandering around, always listening to music, but never.
Wait, haven't been playing an instrument since you were 5. You played in high school.
No, I know. I said I haven't played an instrument since I was 5. Like a lot of these like crazy.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Got it.
Yeah, in the program, like prodigy composers and like little virtuosos. So I was not trying to compete with that, but I feel like a passion for making stuff electronically and glitching shit out and sampling weird world stuff and combining it with like more beat oriented stuff.
Right. I'm noticing a theme here. The classical music was a little too.
I love classical music, but not like classical music reigns superior to everything. Is a little archaic, especially when electronic music is so prevalent now everywhere. Like even there's the popular sound, but there's a whole that's prevalent on the radio, like for everything on the Super Bowl specials. All the biggest artists are now using electronic beats.
Right.
But then there's a whole underground side to it too, which is what I'm drawn to, but I didn't get a love or respect for there. But now I hear from my dad like recently that they actually started implementing like everyone's learning how to use Ableton and all this shit. I'm like, what the fuck, like
at Occi.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I was there. Like, no, that was going down.
Right.
But
on.
So anyways, like I pretty much dropped out to kind of like pursue just cooking to pay the bills while I grind out the beats and the collective Fuzzy Puddle stuff, Bass Waffles, all those events.
Right on. So it was my understanding that, 'cause we've seen each other. I mean, we consistently spent time together in preschool. Obviously, every day we were out there grinding.
On the trikes, bro.
Racing hard.
Yeah.
So then after that, we played some soccer together, and then after that, it was kind of like
a little skiing here and there.
Skiing here and there, but when
some horror stories.
Some horror stories. Mammoth Mountain. That was, I forget what. I mean, your dad. He would cook some legendary pizzas. I remember that.
Yeah.
But
I was thinking of the one time when my dad's friend was like staying with us in the room, and it's like me, you, and your sister, and we were just like still all teenagers. And
okay.
And it's like when you're when you're at a sleepover when you're younger and like you're supposed to be in bed, but like everything you say to your friends like the funniest shit ever, and you're like,
Right.
Stop. We're supposed to be asleep. And it's like, try not to laugh. It was
Right.
like that. We were in the room, but sharing it with my dad's like 40-year-old friend.
Wait, I don't even I don't remember this.
don't
This was
remember
me,
this?
you, and my sister.
Yeah, in bunk beds. Like the house that had like the warmed like the warm slate and shit. And we played that weird celebrity game, like the charades.
Oh yeah, I remember
then
that. Okay.
We were all like just talking when the lights were off, and like this fool was getting really annoyed that we were being loud, and then he starts pretending to have like horrible dreams.
He starts pretending to have horrible dreams.
We were like sleeping, and then he's just like, no, like let go of my body, no, don't take my
What?
body, and then we were just like, Nick, like wake up, and like we're super freaked out, and then like he just woke up and he's like. Like after a while, he's like, "Yeah, I was just kidding. Like, but you guys better be quiet now."
Dude, I'm scared. I've completely I've repressed or suppressed. I forget which one is subconscious.
It was a
but
pretty traumatic experience.
that's what I'm saying. I something serious must have happened because I do not remember that at all. It's all gonna bubble up one day.
Suppressed cornerstone of your identity. You don't even realize it. Yeah.
Damn. See, you can see that CTSJ, whatever it's called. You're busting out some good speaking phrases.
That collab with some Westworld.
Oh, that's from Westworld?
No, but like they talk about cornerstones and like.
Wait, you talking about the TV show?
Yeah.
You talking about the HBO one, the new one?
Yeah. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Dude.
What'd you think of it?
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I thought it was really well done. Well, Anthony Hopkins
is a beast.
Is a beast. So he actually came to my high school and spoke to my theater class.
Uh-huh.
And one of the people in my class had to connect with him, and he came in and was speaking to us. Total legend, just sat there in front of the class, and this girl, she fell asleep in the front row, and he called her out. He said, "What the?" I don't think he said "fuck," but he said, "What the hell?" He seemed very old school, like show respect, which I love how that's old school, showing respect.
Right.
But she fell asleep. He woke her up. Fell asleep again. Woke her up. She fell asleep a third time. He kicked her out. Anthony Hopkins kicked a student out of my high school theater class.
Damn.
It was absolutely legendary.
That's crazy.
Westworld, yeah, good show. The funny thing there though is this whole notion that okay, you can just like they would have to go hunt down the host. Like okay, why can't you just turn them off remotely? What are we even talking about right now? These are, so that there's always holes in every show. So I'm not gonna knock it for that. I thought it was a great show, but right on. Anyway, you lifted some quotes from there. Okay, so we went on a little bit of tangent there. Life's a tangent, so I'm not worried about it. But your music. So so you dropped out, and when did you start? Did you start? So then you were doing cooking. Oh, I know what I was talking about. So I would say I would check in with you every year or two. His dad hosts an event called Nagapalooza. It's pretty legendary. It's around the holidays. I hope to get the inv.
So much eggnog. And
so much
many
eggnog.
Wasted adults.
Exactly.
Trying to like pretend like they're not wasted in front of all these kids.
Damn, exactly. I hope to get the IMV this year. But my point is,
we'll see.
I check in with you, every year or something like that. Yo, how you doing? And I always hear, damn, like you're into cooking. Like, oh, Mack's really into cooking. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing from my folks and stuff. So it seemed to me that you were all in on that. Was that not the case? You were just doing that to pay the bills?
No, I was all in. Like
okay.
When I get into something, I definitely go all in.
Right.
But just a focus switch, and I can't go all in on two things at the same time. But
totally.
Going all in on cooking, I learned why I loved it.
Keep that mic close, brother.
Oh, okay, word.
There we go, brother.
Going all in on it, I learned why I loved it, and it was just for being able to like cook for my friends and my family and like share it with like homies and people I love. And when you're in the restaurant, like behind doors or behind a kitchen or just with your head down and people like don't really acknowledge that, it's like not as gratifying or as fun.
Totally.
It's still cool, like you're executing these crazy techniques and making cool dishes, but it's like at the end of it, I just want to make like something tasty for someone to put in their mouth.
Yes, absolutely. That's really interesting. So, yeah, I think that's true. I think with a lot of different people's passions, right? They think, okay, I'm really into this thing, but they don't until they go all in on it. They don't really know. Okay, was it really like in your case? Was it really the cooking that I'm specifically into, or is it the kind of the community that I build around the food I make that I put in people's mouths?
I yeah, like I don't know why I was so into cooking. I guess I had like a natural. I just always. I mean, I love to eat, but I always had a natural. I guess maybe just loving that and like kind of dissecting it and being able to travel a lot with my mom, which is, I'm very grateful for and fortunate to be able to do. Like, be able to eat all this crazy food and try all this stuff at a young age. And I think like
okay, so your dad played the world music, your mom gave you the world food.
Yeah, my mom gave me the world, like, pretty much, like, visually and, like, took me there to the places when my dad, like, kind of soaked me in the sounds and, the aesthetic, I guess.
Right.
And so, I don't know.
So, no, you were all in on cooking. When did you start making the transition to music?
I think it was just like I always did music as a hobby. Like I Asked for a Reason, which is like a program my dad's friend who taught at Occi recommended for me. It's like a German program, I think.
Okay.
It's like kind of like it's like emulates a virtual like rack, like a virtual synthesizer rack, and it's pretty aesthetically pleasing, intuitive, and not too crazy. You have to like it can get crazy 'cause you have to like virtually wire stuff on the back. But I just used that and made like a bunch of boom bap hip hop beats and like
right. Wait, I think didn't I just ask about cooking? Now I'm tripping out.
No, you asked like how did like
oh, you mean you make the transition? Oh,
yeah.
okay, right. Got it. Okay.
So like this is what I got. Like I'm just talking about the program I got when I was like 16.
Got it.
Getting into it, I was still cooking hard. I was just doing this on the side as like a hobby.
Right.
Got it originally to make.
I love that. I was still cooking hard.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I was the hardest cooker there was.
Definitely like the more. Like at the time was like the more I worked, the less time I had to spend the money I made. Even though I still didn't have anything to show for it after 'cause I'm a delinquent.
Right.
But definitely grinded the kitchen world for a little bit 'cause that's what I wanted to do. I was like, I have to be the fucking best and get to the top. But then I was like, the more I realized what it takes to be at the top of the cooking world, I was like, fuck
you gotta sell your soul, brother.
Dude, 17 hours a day in the kitchen with a whole staff who's doing the same shit, with a facility that like you have to have the money to have, and like investors that believe in you, and just have the innate influence, talent, and like ingredients and everything, like just to all come together. And it's like all for the one bite that you don't really even get to have that much, that other people are like paying,
The one bite that you don't see, it's out there behind on the other side of the door.
Everyone's searching for that one bite.
Everyone's searching for that onebite.com. Actually, I don't recommend listeners go to that. That might
get that domain.
Buy it and sell it later. That sounds like a dangerous domain. So you mentioned this competitive aspect of cooking. So you were going all in cooking. Oh, I want to be the best. But what you said earlier about music was you're not currently at that place with music, right? You're not trying to kind of grind yourself. You're trying to kind of stay true to yourself, and I'm going to do my thing.
Well, yeah, I guess definitely. I feel like I am kind of grinding a little bit.
Right on.
But still staying true to myself. Just grinding on the actual tracks and just getting in the workflow, but not setting hard deadlines on projects yet. I have a few for myself, but not like everything else. I'm just gonna kind of like loosely, when songs are done, not necessarily like dictate an order and then be like they're coming out like this. Right. Just like whatever I feel like I can get in the zone to make and like comes out naturally, that's what I'll work on, and like whatever finishes first, and as I progress that way, I'll put out. I have some projects I want in mind, and some some that I can care less how they're released. They just need a home.
Right, they just need a home.
Yeah, but so back to when I was starting off, it was kind of a hobby. I used to make dubstep. Or used to try to make dubstep. I haven't heard
dubstep in a while.
It's like it was pretty bad how into it I was.
Dubstep, that was like the that was like older people would say, it sounds like robots are having sex.
Yeah,
and everyone would say that line, thinking that they invented that line. I'm pretty sure I even said that, which I'm ashamed to admit. But so dubstep, is that what was before dubstep? Just so we can I'm just trying to see where. Like techno?
Well, I guess
nobody listens to techno.
Dubstep started in the UK, like so before the bro step, the like,
bro step,
like the Transformers having sex, like robots having sex shit.
Right.
That like happened. kind of in America.
Oh
with,
wait,
like,
so you're one of the guys that says that line that it sounds like robot sex.
well, it's just like I've just heard it and seen it at so many places that it's just become like associated with it for sure.
Okay, got it.
I wouldn't say it's my line at all.
Okay, Transformers. I've never heard that version of it. Transformers having sex.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much machines and like crazy ass like head banging and like mostly like a lot of vapes and dudes in black and that type of that type of thing. But it started in London.
Okay.
And that's when it was like more dubby and less
steppy.
Yeah, less less steppy, bro. And less transformer sexy and more deep and just actually sexy. Like
right.
Shit's
right.
It's pretty dope. And then like before, honestly, I wasn't really I wasn't really into the scene that much. I like kind of listened to what I was exposed to, like some Rage Against the Machine, some rap, like weird eclectic mix of rap songs that my cousin showed me or I heard from friends, world music. But then like my babysitter got me into dubstep when I was like 16. So like I didn't really couldn't really say what.
Wait, so your babysitter? Hold on, we need to pull that. We need to pull on that thread. Hold on, let me finish and ask the full question before you cut me off. Babysitter at 16?
Babysitter at 16. Yeah, my mom was like when my mom would go out of town for a few weeks, like she would get like a nanny to help take me to school and wherever I need to go and shit.
That's epic.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
She didn't trust me like just by myself.
Why wouldn't you would you not just stay with your dad at this point? What's the deal with that?
I mean, I don't know, like 'cause I had like dogs that I would take care of to walk and shit too. So
got it.
I had to hold down the fort at both both houses. And at the time, my mom's house was more equipped for having dank sleepovers, so I would
Wow, I never got the inv to those, dude.
Yeah, what are you talking about, bro?
Are you kidding me? When we were 16, that puts us at what? Sophomore, junior year of high school. Sophomore year, I never got the inv to those.
And we were not talking at the time,
That's
but
my
if
point.
we were talking at the time, you would have gotten the invite for sure.
Call it inv, brother. We're
the
hip.
The inv. I would have slid the DM in, bro.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so nanny, dubstep, go.
Okay. So she's been my like nanny since I was like 12 or like 11 or 10 or some, when I was like
your
young
entire
kid.
life.
My entire life. Almost my entire life.
Right.
Well, her and her husband, who are both badass, but she's like a crazy belly dancer and does like dancing for like sometimes different like festivals, and she taught dancing and taken dancing classes and done competitions and like, is a badass dancer. So she was always like listening to the craziest music that she likes to dance to, right?
Right.
When dubstep was coming out, it's like some of the stuff was like the more shanty vibe.
What does shanty mean?
It's like kind of like I would describe the more like worldy, like sitar, stringy, ethereal, and like spacey.
Okay, so that explanation just begged about 5 more questions. So I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna stop going down that road because I don't even know.
The more you try to describe it, the further away it gets.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so mom world food, your dad world music, her world belly dancing. You were born to just be a worldly man.
Yeah, otherworldly.
Right, otherworldly. Okay, so she was riffing on this stuff with you, and
yeah, showed it to me. It was also like at the same time when I just started to smoke weed. So like listening to music while high, I was like, what the fuck?
Congratulations, dude.
And then listening to machine noises that I never heard before while high, I was like, double next level.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
Right.
And it's funny 'cause I talk so much shit on dubstep now, but like the music that I make now, you could just pretty much, I guess, describe it as like squishy aliens having sex.
Right, squishy aliens. Well, that's
it's all sex, just different types.
I can imagine an academic in like 100 years looking back and saying, well, the movement started out with robots having sex, but what you really understood was that the squishy alien sex movement kind of came out of that.
The Anunnakis came in the Babylonians and they started transitioning the sex to the squishier realm.
I love that. Okay, so weed, music, women, fame, culture, it's all there. It's all coming together. So at 16, I'm curious, you started smoking weed. Did your parents care?
Yes, I started smoking weed like once every other weekend, and that was it. I was super responsible. I would get high like off one rip with like my friends. We would all run to like the furthest point in my backyard, which happened to be like behind the shed where my dogs would poop and shit. And we would crowd around the little bowl.
Wait, they would poop and shit?
Well, poop, and do other stuff like hang out and sniff each other's butts and all that nasty shit.
I thought you're not supposed to shit where you eat, brother.
Right, well, dogs.
Or don't smoke where your dog shits.
Well, that's the best way to get high, bro.
Oh my god.
'Cause you're huffing on multiple
Okay,
fumes.
Right. Okay, so you'd
It
be
was the furthest place away, bro.
Right, it was the furthest place
low
away.
profile.
Right. So you guys would rip it. How'd you smoke it? Joint, bong?
Out of a piece.
Out of a piece.
I had
okay.
I had a little bubbler that it was red, white, and blue, and I named it. At first, it was Old Faithful.
Okay.
And then I wanted to change the name, which I think is illegal.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do
but
that.
I was like, George W. Kush was too good.
George W. Kush.
So I had to change it.
Can I tell you what I named my bong?
Yes, please.
I didn't start smoking until much later, but I called it.
Bro, because you always
Hit me
when
up.
I always see you always just seem like you're already high, like
whoa, that is
in a good way. Like you're like just like explosive, and the energy is like
right.
I don't know, the quirky, laughy goofiness is already
Right,
there.
right. Wow, I appreciate that. But I named it Judgment. Because when you pass the judgment, like
Pass
you
the
pass
judgment.
it. So in the circle, you would pass it across someone that wasn't smoking. As you would pass judgment, they would pass judgment on you, and it was this whole kind of meta.
Damn.
Yeah. Anyway,
You're
I was
going
pretty
deep.
happy with that name.
But you just laugh the hardest every time out of everyone in the circle. Like, yo, pass judgment, bro.
Damn.
Pass judgment.
Exactly. We thought it was pretty cool.
I
Okay,
love
so
that.
so you were. I'm curious. Where'd you get the weed? Like, did you have one friend who's like, dude,
the homie Scott.
the homie Scott.
He was the worst.
He
He
was
was like, 'cause sometimes you
Did he
get.
get you Snickle Fritz or something? Just
Well,
the worst.
no, it was
The
just
wor-
come in a napkin. Sometimes it would come in a bag. Sometimes it would come in a napkin.
Right.
He was inconsistent. That was the worst. 'Cause at least if I would like get ripped off, I could consistently get ripped off and not
right.
like one time just get hooked up fat and be like, yeah, I'm gonna get that again, and then just like another napkin. Be like, what the fuck? 'Cause sometimes I would get like $30 and he'd come back from the club with like a pill cap filled like an eighth. I was like, damn, like what the fuck is this? This is purple on it. Like this is the tankest shit ever. Probably
Right.
was some like low mids or like at best.
Right.
Looking back on it, but then other times it'd just be like 20 sack like just balled up napkin with like a nug in it. And I would bike from my house.
And it would be warm. It was
warm,
in his
right?
pocket.
Some lint on it. I would like bike from my house, tell my parents I'm like going to the bank or like
Go-
doing
You were
some.
how old were
I'm going to the bank, like
Hold on.
doing some shit that I would not. Or like I'm gonna go do something that I would not normally do.
I'm gonna go pick up my kid from school. That's the worst excuse. You were 16. I'm going to the bank.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go cash a check. Well,
gonna
'cause
go
I was working at the time, so
Oh, right.
I had checks to cash. It's not
Right.
like I'm gonna go open a savings account. I'm gonna go check on my junior saver account,
Right.
check my penny interest.
Washington Mutual. I'm pretty sure I had a penny saver with them. They just went under.
It's
If
like, Mom, I told you I'm at a credit union now, okay?
I thought we talked about this. Okay, so you would go, you'd pick it up, you'd snort it, continue.
Yeah, snort it, boof it, fucking rail it.
Right.
You'll snort it and rail it, boof it,
Right.
drink it, put it in your ear, all that.
Right.
you know,
All the classic ways to do it.
whatever works.
Right. So this got you into music though.
No, I wouldn't say it got me into music, but it was definitely
it elevated it.
it elevated listening to music, and it that state of it is like a long time coming, but like I didn't realize it at the time when I first started, but it's like the state that you're in when you feel like making creative decisions that you would normally not make when you're not high, 'cause you're not
Right.
like thinking about
Outside the box.
what other people do. You're just thinking about what sounds tight, or like, oh, I just want to do this just 'cause I want to do it, and then
Right.
you fucking do it and it's awesome, or you do it and it's shit and collect all and delete.
Yeah.
Start again.
Command A.
So yeah,
Delete.
definitely not relying on it in terms of
Right. Yeah.
like-
So how do you use it as a tool today? 'Cause some people, when you smoke, sometimes I think you can be creative, but a lot of the times you can just kind of sit down and do nothing.
Yeah,
So how
well,
do you toe that line?
I get high a lot.
Okay.
Too much probably sometimes. And
Right.
sometimes I'll do nothing. Well, doing nothing, it's like playing video games is doing nothing, but you're still doing I'm still having a blast. And
Right,
we'll be
totally.
chatting with like high school friends and like
Online.
yeah,
What
nerd
games?
shit.
What games are you playing lately? Battlefield 4.
Battlefield 1.
Battlefield 1. Oh, that's the new one.
Yeah.
I love how
Battlefield
they
1,
just everything's a rehash of a rehash. They go
right.
Battlefield like 6, and then they're just like, you know what? Battlefield 1. Let's
well,
just
this one's
start
World
over.
War 1. It's the first.
Okay,
It's
that
World
makes
War
sense.
1.
Okay.
It's pretty dope.
Okay.
Dark Souls 3 is pretty dope.
Okay.
I've been getting into. I used to play. This is super nerd. I used to play Magic: The Gathering.
Legendary. That's not online though, right?
No, but they have like a version on the Xbox that is kind of like a different meta and different like format, different like cards you can play with, but it's still
right
the
on.
same shit. And then it's kind of gotten me back interested into like getting some cards to play with some
Right.
homies again. But
Totally.
we'll see. That's like kind of like slowly putting away like $1 or $2 a month to get a card, 'cause eventually, all the art on them is super cool. I wouldn't mind having just like it's like a little collection of mini paintings that you can
Right.
fuck each other up with chess style.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally. So, will you smoke before? Whenever you're working with music, will you smoke before intentionally to as a way to enhance the experience?
It just depends how I'm feeling.
Okay.
Sometimes I come home from work and I'm like, I have to smoke right fucking now.
Right.
And then as soon as I smoke, I'll just get a rush of like creative energy and
Right.
be able to just start a beat and like hash something out. 3 hours, have a whole fucking track.
Right.
And then other days just like smoke, not want to do something, try to open a beat, like it goes nowhere. Try to open a beat again, it doesn't really go anywhere. And just like, I wouldn't necessarily blame it on the smoking, 'cause when I've taken tolerance breaks like for months at a time of like not smoking, it's like the same shit.
Right. Sometimes you want to do shit, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, and I think that's
Right.
okay. I think it's okay to embrace that you don't want to do that shit, and embrace that you want to play video games and then have the best time playing video games. Don't think about how you shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
Like, don't think about, like really should be, working on music right now. It's like, well, if you just tried working on music for an hour and it didn't really hash out, like, why torture yourself? And like,
Right.
just take your mind off it, or go listen to other music, go take a walk, or play games, or just like
Totally.
switch up the
Dude, that
stimulation.
that hits me hard. That resonates with me because I don't play video games anymore. The last serious video games I was into was League of Legends. This was, I think, sophomore year of college was kind of the last time I was pretty serious into it. Did you ever play League?
No, but I watched like my not roommates. Oh, well, yeah, like homies in college play like all the time. I'd smoke and like chill and play Diablo on my computer while they would play League and shit.
That's legendary. Yeah. Well, I don't play video games anymore. I don't know. Part of it is, I mean, I haven't played in a while, but part of it was like exactly what you described. Like, I was like, damn, how can I justify this? Like, I can't enjoy it because I should be doing something else. And I think that's kind of sad that you can't just enjoy something because you're thinking, oh, I should be, quote unquote, being productive right now. But no, that's yeah. I think you just pulled on something that spoke to me. I don't really have that knack to play anymore. I think it's been so long that I'm like, I don't even want to. But I like that. Do what you're interested in at the moment, and don't overthink it.
Yeah, it's like whatever you want to be doing is what you're doing. Like, you can tell yourself you want to, I want to get in shape, or I want to, be a way better producer, or I want to go do a backflip, or do whatever you want to do.
Or
but
a barrel roll, or
a barrel roll, you squirrel suit off a plane into another plane with a basketball hoop on it while you dunk it, like anything.
Right.
But if you're not,
well, dude, perfect.
Yeah, if you're not doing it, like
Right.
if you're not actually spending the time to move towards those goals, then you don't really want them. Like, and what you want to do is what you're spending your time doing. And if you just like, as soon as you're honest with yourself about that, then you can just look at what you're doing and then be like, well, do I want to be doing this more than what you tell yourself you want to be doing? And then in that moment, if you, then in that moment, it's about making the decision.
Right.
And like, teaching yourself and like training yourself to make the right decision when it's so tempting to, like, when you're, surrounded by stimulating things everywhere.
Totally. I mean, dude, there's so much. God, these days, dude, just the phone alone. Just the phone alone, regardless. Well, your phone's stuck on silent. You don't know how to unjack
Which
it.
is dope as fuck sometimes, but well, that's what I hate, is now that having a phone has become like a social like a social etiquette thing. Like you have to answer your phone now. Like
Right.
and it's like now it's like used to be, you know, even in our lifetime it was like, what, you don't have a phone? Okay, whatever. Now it's like, what, you don't have a phone?
It's like, I guess we
You
can't
don't even
hang
have a
out.
flip phone? It's like, guess we can't ever hang out.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay. Or it's like, you didn't answer your phone, like where were you? It's like you're not allowed to be doing other things. And it's like when you're with friends or when you're with hanging out with someone, it's rude to be on your phone. But then when you're not, you know, when you're not answering someone's call, it's rude to not be answering their call. So it's like, what the fuck are you supposed to do? Like,
Right.
I hate having to go having to go back to your phone all the time, like all throughout the day is so
Right.
fucking lame.
Right. I don't know. Personally, I think it's changed a little bit. Or, I mean, everyone has their own, their own communication circle, if you will. But I think it used to be when we were younger, maybe early college, like 2012 or 2011, 2010, late high school. It was kind of like you got a text, you have to get to it right away. I don't know if the times are changing or it's just but personally, I feel comfortable leaving it and get to it in a few hours. Like,
Yeah,
I'll get to it.
I answer like when I want to answer genuinely. I don't want to like rush and like pretend like I'm
Right.
interested when I'm not. Like,
Well, the worst
Why
is read
gives-
receipts, because if you accidentally read it, and then it's like, then you feel compelled to respond right away because you just read it.
yeah,
You know, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp has read receipt, but if I don't, I love how we're getting philosophical on responding to text messages, but yeah, I'll consciously not click a message in WhatsApp because I don't want to send the read receipt. I'll wait. Okay, I'll get to this when I get to it.
which
yeah.
is so stupid. You should be able to read it. The other person
Right.
has to be able to see that you read it and not fucking
and not
react,
cry about it.
and then be
Right.
like, yo, maybe they just read it and aren't ready to respond. Maybe they just read it while they're driving and can't respond. Maybe
Right.
they clicked on it with their fucking butt and they didn't actually read it. Or maybe they just read it and don't want to respond, which is like, who cares?
Which is also fine.
like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like it's so stupid. We live in a world of softies, but like the the path that I'm going down, I have to kind of suck it up and brand myself a little bit through social media with like the events and my like artist page. It's kind of
Right. Tell me about that stuff. Where are you online? Where are you on the internet?
Well, I have a
The World Wide Web.
SoundCloud
Okay.
page that it's kind of dead, unfortunately.
Well, I thought that's where you dropped the EP.
Well, my personal page is kind of dead. I dropped the EP on Fuzzy Puddles.
Got it. Got it.
I've been putting like a lot of work into that page lately. We have like the next full year of releases like lined up, 2 a month, EPs and singles, all from different like bass music artists that we've like connected with on SoundCloud and in real life. A lot of our like homies from real life.
Damn, right on.
And so we have that going. We got Bandcamp, which is where you can like download all our stuff for free.
Right.
We got a Facebook page, which is kind of like where we'll try to post updates and links to.
And this is all fuzzy. Just you can Google Fuzzy Puddles, and this should
Yeah,
come
it
up.
should come up pretty easily. Fuzzy SoundCloud.com/fuzzy-puddles.
Is that a / or a backslash?
The backslash.
I'm just trolling you.
The normal slash.
Normal. It's a straight slash.
Regular slash.
Nay.
And then I'm on Instagram for my personal stuff too.
Congrats.
Yeah, but thanks, dude. I just got another follower today. So,
I started following you.
right? Oh yeah.
Wait, do you have a Fuzzy Puddles Instagram, or you only have? I only saw your personal one.
Yeah, we have a Fuzzy Puddles Instagram.
Okay.
At fuzzy.puddles.
At fuzzy.puddles. How do you mentioned connecting? So if I'm an artist and I'm on SoundCloud, I'm releasing some stuff, and you reach out to me. Why would I release under Fuzzy Puddles? Why wouldn't I just stay independent?
Well, at this point, at first it was exactly. I was like, why the fuck would I release with you guys? 'Cause we
Right.
had no followers or no footing or didn't, have any leg to stand on.
How long have you been working on Fuzzy Puddles?
It's coming up on 2 years now.
Oh, right on. Okay,
Yeah.
sweet. Okay.
So it's like, wait.
So it's Fuzzy
just
Puddles
realized
is now
I
at a
was-
point where people have an
Yeah.
interest in releasing under you.
So yeah, we have like enough of a kind of a little mini wave going, and artists associated with us that have their own little waves going that people want to be a part of it, and it's dope because at first we were working so hard, like not really even our own friends like didn't really have that much faith in us in the beginning. Not that they didn't have faith, but it's like we had to fucking convince people to come to shows and like,
Right.
drag our friends out 5 minutes to a free show that's like down the block, like
Just to get
well, it's 'cause we all sucked like musically at that time too, so it's like not as good of a, come listen to your homies suck.
right.
But
Right.
we didn't suck, but it was like definitely you could hear the like the noobness and like the lack
Totally.
of skill and like the lack of a sound or like we weren't confident up there at all.
Right.
And you could see that, and it wasn't really fun to be around. But not it wasn't fun to be around, but it's like it's hard to support that unless if you don't really want to get behind it.
Right.
But now 2 years later, we're doing pretty well. We're throwing a dope monthly event with 2 other event companies, the Table Productions and Synaptic
Damn.
events.
And this is Base Waffles?
Yeah, this is Base Waffles.
Tell-
And
Tell me about this.
it's a monthly residency where
What does residency mean?
so it's like we have the same like venue once a month.
Got
The last Sunday of every month from 9 to 2 a.m. and
On a Sunday.
Yeah, well, 'cause we went into the bar. We're like, you guys, look, you're not gonna make money on a Sunday. Who's gonna come out and drink on a Sunday? We'll pack your shit out, make you money at the bar. Just give us a guaranteed spot.
Right.
Once a month. They agreed to it.
That's awesome.
So it's like the event's free waffles all night, free bass music, fat ass bass music. We got 2 subs in a little venue.
Right.
And then 3 different types of waffles every time. So far, might be changing it 'cause it's definitely a lot to produce for free since everything's free.
Right. So anyone can just walk in and attend this event.
Yeah, anyone can walk in as long as you're 21
Right.
and attend the event.
But let's be honest, even if you're not.
Even if you're not and you have fake ID and you're Mr. Slick.
Damn.
But they are pretty stingy at this one, and will kick you out in a bin.
Where's the location?
It's called the Offbeat in Highland Park.
Highland Park.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And that's right near. I mean, that's Occidental's technically in Eagle Rock, but Highland Park is right near there.
Yeah, it's like I would say Occidental's like kind of on a hill that's like in between Highland Park and Eagle Rock, so I guess you could say they fight for it. But
damn. Okay, so how long has this event been going on?
This coming up on our 10th. This is our 10th.
10th. So this is the 10th month.
The 10th month, and we can't have one on New Year's, which is the last Sunday of December is December 31st.
Right.
Which would have been epic, but the bar owner's wife always has like a New Year's party there or some lame shit. So we're having our New Year's party this November. New Year's in November.
Oh, right.
Classiest attire required, not required, but encouraged.
Are you so you gonna wear a suit to that?
No, I
that's
don't think
this Sunday. That's today's Friday. So that's this coming Sunday.
It's 2 days.
Right. So you gonna wear? Because I might go to this. We'll see.
Are you still gonna be in town?
I'm still gonna be in town. I head out Monday morning.
Oh shit!
Head up back to the Bay.
Definitely gonna go to this, and all the podcast listeners will know if you don't go to it. So we'll be accountable on recording. Dude.
Okay, so who plays music at this event? Are you guys playing recordings and stuff? Are you playing live stuff? What's the deal?
Well, usually like we all try to drink like a lot of soda or eat a lot of beans, and we get like really high quality mics, and we just take turns farting in the mic. but through dope effects.
Through dope effects.
And then we like harness the smell and then inject them directly into the waffles.
Gee, well, you huff it, and then you mix that with the weed, and it's all just a beautiful.
Everyone.
First of all, there's just one of the most just unclassy, immature jokes that's ever been made on this podcast in the history of this podcast. How do you feel about that?
Well, judging by the smirk that I can hear through your microphone.
Damn. Well, so I guess I should say I expect this because this guy's got a flash drive in his computer. And I said, dude, what is this? Like, what is that stump on the side of your computer? He says, dude, it's Homer Simpson's legs.
If it is my friend's flash drive, it's not even mine.
It's Homer Simpson's legs with his black shoes just sticking out of this guy's computer.
It's brilliant.
Do you have anything to say about that? Okay, right on.
I have. Well, it's my friend. It's my
No, you don't need to defend yourself on this. I'm trolling.
Well,
you,
no,
dude.
I'm not
Okay,
glorifying it. I'm not even defending it. It's
Okay.
my friends.
Right. How many
who I
gigabytes
collab
is it?
with. I'm not sure. I think like 8.
Okay.
But he has the Homer Simpson. I have a Peter Griffin flash drive where you take off his head and his head goes into the computer.
Some of the freshest beats that have ever come out of Eagle Rock have been in Homer Simpson's legs.
Yes, for sure.
I love that. So you got base waffles, and that's grown. So that's it. I saw on Facebook. It said 500 people going or something, or is that just people saying they're going? How many people usually come out to this?
We usually get like 1 to 200.
And it's grown. Has it kind of grown?
Definitely grown. We're getting like bigger and bigger artists to come play.
Damn.
Now we're getting crazy artists that like we just paid to go see like a month ago, ask us to play. And it's all.
Wait, they came to you and said, "Can we play at this event?"
Yeah, multiple people have come now, like asking us, like, "Yo, we gotta play bass waffles." Just like stoked on it.
Dude, that is so cool. You have an event in LA that people want to come play at, and
it's pretty dope.
Make fucking waffles.
Yeah, we make we have the signature waffle. It's jalapeno, bacon, cheddar, scallion with sour cream on top.
Dude, holy hell. And there's syrup, of course.
Yeah, but you that one honestly I just like
no
eat
syrup.
it without the syrup, but you can put syrup on it and it stink too, but
damn, that is really cool.
With or without.
Damn. Okay, that's really awesome. You got that event going. So you're building that up. You're building Fuzzy Puddles is kind of it's been 2 years on that. What do you have any other events that you do?
Well, Fuzzy Puddles, the events we go the most hard on are these desert campouts that we throw.
Dude.
And it's like 2 days in the desert, and we rent. Well, sometimes we do it on public land. We've done it on private land.
Do you get permission to do this stuff?
On public land, no. We just go and renegade and do it. And we did it for last time for 2 days and brought out like 8 18-inch subs and didn't get shut down.
And you have generators and stuff?
Yeah, we had generators. The worst sound guy ever for that one. And then the most recent one we did, we had like this guy had his own property with like completely sustainable off the grid running water and his own patent to his own like crazy custom speaker system. So he just like is a crazy sound engineer like and runs these amazing speakers, so we got to use.
Are these public? You put these on Facebook, or is this kind of a?
No, these are more like private events. Like we'll kind of like word of mouth. I guess like kind of invite the group of people we invite, and then they can kind of invite their friends, but kind of try to keep it at that.
And people bring tents and stuff.
Yeah, everyone just brings tents, and we just gotta try to keep it that way, not public, so we don't get burned, and so we can kind of encourage some environment where people feel like safe and like able to. It's like you. Picture like you wouldn't want to invite someone that you wouldn't want to have like mushroom tea in your living room with or something.
Right.
Like some people that you feel really comfortable around.
Right. Dude, this sounds so. Can I get the imp to one of these things? Or what's
the next one we're doing is in April for 420. It's like a 2-day camp out.
Damn. Is this on the weekend or is this during the week?
Yeah, Friday to Sunday.
Damn,
and music
dude.
Usually goes from we have it from 7 p.m. till 7 a.m. and then the next day from 4 p.m. till like 12
and
the next afternoon or something.
Right on. And what do people do during the day when there's not music going on, just hanging out?
Well, usually the music's not going on for like 8 hours during the day, and generally everyone's just like sleeping or resting or chilling 'cause everyone's been partying the night before into the sunrise.
Totally. And people you bring food and stuff.
Yeah, bring food. Well, this guy's land last time he had like a grill and he had stoves. And
how'd you find this guy?
He's like a friend of the guy who does bass waffles with us, who runs Synaptic events. He went to school with him.
Dude, look at you just connecting dots, making moves. Dude, this is gonna be Burning where Burning Man is now in 20 years, dude.
Yeah, like definitely the same aesthetic and vibe a little bit.
Dude, literally today I was thinking like, damn, like Burning Man's cool. I've never been to Burning Man, but things like that, all these events that are really big now. Imagine if you were just kind of there at the beginning.
Dude, you gotta come to ours. We're at the beginning right now.
Damn.
The last one was so fun.
Dude, I definitely am. I'm very interested in going to that. That sounds fucking epic.
It's pretty epic. People definitely get lost in the sauce. There's a lot of substance is getting passed around.
Totally,
and,
totally. A lot of sugar rushes and whatnot.
Yeah,
That's pretty
exactly.
epic.
Caffeine, Red Bull, like Hershey's, Yoo-hoo, like
Damn, you name it.
Tootsie Rolls for sure, dude.
Damn, that's epic.
Some brats.
Where do you, I love this, I was about to ask, where do you see yourself in 2 years with this music stuff? Are you gonna keep do you have plans to switch up the strategy, or you're still like, okay, I'm on the events game? So that's really your two main things, events and then also the label, and they're very related. Those are your kind of two things in the music scene right now that you're working on.
Yeah, events, label, but I want to I don't want to lose sight of my own production. Like I want that to be on top, and eventually, just be able to sustain myself off that.
Totally.
Or I guess just that and all other outlets of creativity, but primarily that, which would be.
And you don't want to sell out.
No, I definitely don't want to sell out.
Does anyone ever say, yeah, I want to sell out, though?
I mean, I'm sure some people. Yeah, I've had a friend who said he'd just sell out for sure.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not really friends with them anymore. Not
yeah,
because of
seriously, not because of that.
But because we used to make beats together,
Mm-hmm.
and then I started getting weirder and making weirder stuff, and he kept making the same shit, even though I used to make the stuff that he would make, kinda.
Right.
And then I was hit him up to collab, and he's like, "Oh, I don't think we can collab anymore, bro." And I'm like, "Why not?" And he's like, "Oh, you just don't really make the same shit anymore." And I was like, "Okay." I can still make the old stuff. And he was like, "No." He's like, "I don't really think we just would fit." And I was like, "Okay, whatever."
Damn.
Not that it wasn't
that. Watch that person, Avicii.
No, pretty much that type, for sure, dude.
Right.
He's he's sustaining himself with music now on SoundCloud and shit, but it's nothing that I would want to hear live or would want to dance to. It's just kind of background mellow, shit.
Right, for sure.
Chill shit.
Dude, well, this sounds like you're on the right path. You're making moves, and we need to queue up some outro music. We're doing this live. He's on his computer to the left. And let's queue up some outro music.
Some alien.
It's whatever, dude, whatever you want. You're the artist. I'm gonna keep riffing. Whoa. This is the end of the road. Mackenzie Angel. Real ass homies call him Mack Attack. Fake ass homies call him Mackenzie. He's dropping beats. He's organizing events. He's smoking weed. He's making beats. He's staying true to himself. Mack Attack. Great to have you on,
dude. Thanks for having me. This is fun.
Damn, great to have you on, brother. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Keep grinding, brother. Keep grinding. I'm recording. Testing 1 2. Testing. Say something in your mic. Testing 1 2.
Hello.
Give me a little more than that, brother Beast.
Brother Beast, giving you.
Look at your line. You're.
Damn. Maybe.
Look at this. You're barely alive.
My input gain. It's my input gain, dude. I swear. No, it's not.
No, you're good at.
Hello. Hello.
He's alive. Okay, cool. Okay, now play some music.
This is three-way collab.
Three-way collab brought to you by In-N-Out Burger. Always tasty, always fun.
If it ain't Boig, it ain't right.
If it ain't Boig, it ain't right.
Okay,
Boig. Now stop the music and try some of that. Oh fuck! Now we're gonna try some of the voice synth stuff to make sure that's all good. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Where's my voice synth at? You got the right input selected?
Yeah.
Why isn't it working?
Try again.
I thought you were a professional gangster.
So the mic is, I think it's just being carried through mine to yours, just because of how it's plugged in normally, but it's not gonna record with the effects unless.
No, I can hear the effect in my head.
What can you hear right now?
No, I can't hear yours.
Oh, but you can hear yours?
Well, not anymore. I could hear it before.
Yeah, but that's 'cause then when it's only when I turn your thing on. So
Testing one.
So then we'd have to talk with the delay
Testing.
to do
So-
the vocal effects.
Okay, so to do the vocal effects. Okay, that's okay. To do the if we want to do it, you have to
Wait.
just
No, not try.
testing 1 2 testing. Well, it's not. Don't you have to click the 2?
Yeah. Okay. So it's-
Testing. Yeah. So if we wanted to do the vocal effects, testing. You can testing. Testing.
1 2 testing. Welcome to the danger zone.
Okay, that's a trip out. Okay, now we need to make sure your input can get synthed.
Oh yeah.
Check. Just make sure. Say something.
Hello. What the fuck? Why isn't it going?
Testing.
Well,
Test. Neither is mine right now either.
Why?
I don't know. Do what you did.
Oh, the dry wets. The dry wets.
Jeez Louise. Okay. I'm gonna stop it.